There's that music. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Role Play Wednesday. I like to talk about sales, marketing, how to have fun in this business, how to make money every day, how to give good home, how sales is the $1,000,000 skill. Let me get rid of my little rock music here. I don't like when people play music in the background on these live broadcasts. Do you? What do you guys think about that? You can, by the way, if you want, we're live on a multitude of social media right now, YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and LinkedIn and all kinds of things. And if you have a comment or a question, feel free to put it in. I think my buddy Justin Chamness will be coming in. I got in a little early today. I wanted to share with you a video. It's my favorite video, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And I thought you might enjoy seeing this, and then we'll discuss it. Okay, it's real short. It's from Seinfeld. I think it says everything about the way sales are today, the way most people look at sales. A little bit of insanity. I played this before for my students. I want to play it again. So I'm going to just share this right now. Share a screen. Let's see if I can find that little tab there. There it is. And let's watch this.
My life has been wrong. My life is the complete opposite of everything I want it to be. Every instinct I have in every aspect of life, be it something to wear, something to eat, it's all been wrong.
Tuna on toast, coleslaw, cup of coffee.
Yeah. No, wait a minute. I always have tuna on toast. Nothing's ever worked out for me with tuna on toast. I want the complete opposite of tuna on toast. Chicken salad on rye, untoasted, with a side of potato salad and a cup of tea.
Well, there's no telling what can happen from this.
Chicken salad's not the opposite of tuna. Salmon's the opposite of tuna, because salmon swim against the current, and the tuna swim with it.
Good for the tuna.
George, you know that woman just looked at you.
So what? What am I supposed to do?
Go talk to her.
Elaine, bald men with no jobs and no money who live with their parents.
I love this.
Don't approach strange women.
Well, here's your chance to try the opposite. Instead of tuna salad and being intimidated by women, chicken salad and going right up to them.
Yeah, I should do the opposite. I should.
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right.
Yes, I will do the opposite. I used to sit here and do nothing and regret it for the rest of the day. So now I will do the opposite, and I will do something.
I love this part.
Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that you were looking in my direction.
Oh, yes, I was. You just ordered the same exact lunch as me.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
I'm Victoria. Hi.
Oh God. I love that. I love that scene. And look who's come on here. Justin Chamness. Justin, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Claude. How are you, sir?
How did that view show okay on the screen?
I don't know. I missed it. I just popped on.
Oh, you just popped on. Okay.
Sorry.
It was my favorite scene from Seinfeld. I show it all the time. Opposite George.
Opposite George, yeah.
And Jerry goes, if every instinct you have is wrong, do the opposite. And George goes up to this beautiful woman and says, I noticed you were looking at my way. And she says, yeah, I ordered the same lunch. And he says, my name is George. And I'm unemployed and I live with my parents. And this girl smiles at him like she's very attracted to him. Don't you love TV?
I love it. That's a great show. I've thought that about myself before, Claude. I've been making a lot of bad decisions lately. Maybe I should just go with the opposite of my gut feeling here for a little minute and see what happens.
But, I think I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. I wanted to talk about how maybe we're embracing insanity. we're doing things that don't work. Other people are telling us they work. I'm going to get in trouble today. So I'm glad you're on. You're like you're the voice, and you're the voice of reason. Okay.
I don't know. I'm going to go with the opposite of what I'm thinking.
I just think people are getting the wrong advice, the wrong things, and they do them, and they don't get the results they want. And what do we call that? Insanity. So I'm telling people, maybe you should be doing the opposite. Maybe you shouldn't read a script. Maybe you should call up people and act a little crazy or lost or confused. Maybe you should make offers without all the facts in front of you. We're all telling them, you got to do all this due diligence and running around and stuff like that. Maybe just make an offer spontaneously. Can it hurt to ask? Do all the things that are the opposite of what most gurus tell you to do. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to get in a lot of trouble. Ask me why I'm in a good mood today.
Why are you in such a great mood, Claude?
I'm in such a good mood. I have bologna in my pants. No, I have. It's an old joke. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting my new car. You want to see my new car?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody says you can't find car. I got a brand new 2022 XT6. Let me brag a little.
So, I thought you leased cars, Claude.
I do. It's my lease.
Okay, so how often do you turn one back in and pick up a new one?
What a good question. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Is that on the screen? Is that showing well?
Yeah.
Yeah, the interior is amazing on it. It has a fold down third seat back here and everything. It has Wi-Fi on it. This is my Warrior wagon.
And you're a Cadillac guy.
I'm a Cadillac guy. And I like Cadillacs.
I like the idea of leasing Cadillacs. That's how you should do Cadillacs, is how you're doing it, I think.
Remember Paul Newman in HUD, and he had this pink Cadillac. He lived in Texas. Great movie. I've always my first couple cars. My first car was a Corvair, which is unsafe at any speed. Ralph Nader wrote a book on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Horrible car. I remember once going off Route 80 off the exit ramp, and the wheel on my car came off and rolled ahead. Something wrong with the car when the tires are going in front of the car, off the axle and in front of the car. Okay. So my dad said, go, I'll help you get a new car. So we bought an explode on rear impact Pinto. And
so the rumors are true.
The rumors are true. So they're not rumors.
That's great.
Oh yeah. So I always decided if I could afford it, I was going to get a good car. So I lease my cars, yes. And in this case, because of the pandemic and the shortages and everything, my car actually had close to $17,000 equity in a leased car.
Wow.
Usually a leased car, you get it for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
You get it for 10 to 15,000 miles. And cars are so valuable right now because they're not making enough of them. So I got about $18,000 equity in the car, which I used to trade for my new car.
Wow. That's
fun.
great.
That is fun.
Great. So you purchasing this one or are you leasing this one?
I'm going to lease it. I lease my cars.
Okay.
I love when I lease a car. It's great because it's written off on the business. It's a business expense. We never use that car to go to the supermarket to pick up a quart of milk. You know that.
Gotcha.
I hope the IRS is
right. Exactly.
So
I believe you.
That's putting me in a good. That's putting me in a good mood. I like new tires, new brakes, and things like that. And I like just dropping it off and picking up a brand new. I like new car smell, and it's a Warrior wagon for me. Claudia is my Uber driver, my wife, and while she's in there, and we have Wi-Fi in the car, you get that through OnStar or whatever. And so I'm actually working, and I've made money in the car while we're driving to San Diego or somewhere else. We're taking long drives, so I'm productive.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Congratulations on that. When do you pick it up?
I like the background you have back there. What is it? True blue.
Yeah.
True blue. Should we and what about you? How's your world, man?
Oh, it's going great. Going great. I'm still driving the same car though.
You're a man of the people. You're more
no, actually, business is going really good. And what we've been talking about is with my group here is I've been talking about creating passive income, creating notes. Maybe when folks don't have a tenant buyer, for example, doesn't have the full option fee, why not take a promissory note and an installment agreement? What do you think about that, Claude?
Why can't we become the bank? And just to acknowledge, I see a couple people here, Helen and Joseph and Dave Skolnick. How you doing, kids? Look at that. Look at that handsome couple. That's his wife, not his daughter. Can you believe it?
No. What?
I never get in trouble with that line. Anyway, I'm gonna put you folks on in a minute while Justin and I do our opening banter here. It's almost like a talk show now, isn't it? It's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Yeah.
Definitely.
I need my coffee or
here you go, buddy.
Something.
French roast, fresh made.
That's pretty dark looking.
I have the greatest wife in the world. She fresh grinds my French roast every morning. Real coffee.
Yeah, I like a little coffee with my cream and sugar.
I drink it black. I drink liquids all day long, Perrier's and black coffee and stuff like that. Jessica joined us too. Hi, Jessica. We'll put you guys in. If you have any questions or anything, put it in the chat box. We always welcome questions. We're simultaneously broadcasting on a plethora, that's a $10 word, of social media. So we're all over the place, but you are special students. You get priority. You get to come live on the show with us and ask your questions and role play too. You were talking about notes here.
Yeah. And how $100, $200, $300 a month adds up. Those add up. So if you're able to create these installment agreements, instead of coming down to meet, I think that's what happens in the lease purchase business is the investor comes down to meet where the tenant buyer's option fee is. In other words, I want 20,000. I'd love to get 20,000 on this. This guy says he's got 9,000. I think I'll take the 9 and just go, assign the deal to him and walk away, a cooperative assignment. But why wouldn't we go ahead and take the full 20, get 9 in cash up front, set up an installment plan, maybe have him sign a promissory note? What's wrong with that?
I can't think of anything. For those of you who were, I was doing a broadcast beer with Claude last week. I know Justin, Jessica, and Dave were on, and I showed the file of my notes. I have a file. It's about 6 inches thick. It is full of notes I've created. Why can't we be the bank? So anytime we have a situation where we're selling a contract, wholesaling is very popular right now. You wholesale a contract to somebody, an investor or someone who wants to live in the property. It's a nice house in a nice neighborhood. You've negotiated really good terms with the seller, a motivated seller, hopefully, full price or not, but you negotiated a good rent, good terms. Maybe the owner, if he gets paid, or he or she gets paid regular, will hold their equity in a year or 2 or 3, so you can actually purchase it if it's a lease purchase. You can do all these different things. And then when you sell that contract, what would it really hurt if that person who gave you maybe half down, you sold it for $25,000, they gave you $12,500, and they wanted to pay you $500 a month for 24 months.
Yeah, there you go.
What is wrong with that? Gee, think about that for a moment. What could you do with that $500 a month? You could go buy that. You could go lease that car, right, or whatever.
Yeah, that's like a car. Probably not that catty though. My guess is not that catty.
It's expensive. It's expensive. It's a year's salary for a lot of people, but it's a good car. It's a safe car, and it's being paid for by my notes, my real estate notes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not becoming the bank, if you're not creating notes, that's crazy. We have a little. Gina's joining us again. Hi, Gina. Good afternoon, guys. Was listening to was listening to Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Isn't he the marketing guy or so? I didn't even know he's still around. Is that a recording? Is he still around? Justin, you know him?
Oh no, I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know. I was thinking myself, who is Jay Abraham?
Jay
And
Abraham is a marketing guy, I believe.
not
Big
sure.
on marketing. I like to talk a lot about marketing. But
Well, I
right
know
here-
so many guys named Abraham, so it's kind of like, throwing me off.
She said I'm right. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Gina. Lots of YouTube videos. That's good. That's good. I hope they're fun. They're entertaining. They welcome people in, and they give good value. And they're not just a long commercial. I love YouTube. I'm on YouTube every day, learning things about diet, health, the right car to lease. YouTube has literally become my encyclopedia.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me too.
Anyone here old enough to remember what an encyclopedia is? These overpriced books we used to pay for, and a salesman came to your house and everything like that. The Britannica, I had the World Book, and when my kids were small, we had Funk and Wagnalls.
Yeah, I remember both of those. Yeah, for sure. And that was the hard way. I mean, compared to today, but now it's great because used to back in the day, if something broke on the car, I got a manual. I paid for a manual on how to fix it, and then I'd go buy parts and try to piece it together myself. I know that sounds funny, maybe, but now, if you wanted to do something like that, you just get on YouTube. It's incredible.
It's amazing. It's like you can learn how to. I'm not the handiest guy in the world. Okay. When I change a roll of, I used to break the toilet. I shouldn't tell this story. Now I will. I used to, the things that hold the toilet paper holder in the bathroom.
The springy rod thing.
A little springy rod. I didn't know there was this is going to be embarrassing. I didn't know there was a spring inside, so I used to just yank them out all the time and break them.
Whoa!
And one day Claudia said to me, "Why do you break these?" I said, "Well, they won't come out." She said, "You know what I'm going to say." She said, "There's a little spring you're supposed to push in." This is how mechanic. I swear this is a true story. Okay.
Wow.
So I go to YouTube now and I learn these things, before I break them like all the time. Should we? But I think creating notes, you become the bank when you negotiate with people. Can we include interest, by the way? So we're doing that wholesale deal. We sold the contract. John and Mary and the kids and the 5 chihuahuas move in the property. You're selling the contract for $25,000. Husband and wife, they're both working. And and they gave you 12.5 down. And you got another 12.5. Can we add interest to that 12.5?
Oh yeah, why not?
Yeah. What does that 12.5 turn into if we add 6% interest? Something reasonable.
15, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, over 2 years, 3 years. Yeah. Can we amortize it like a bank does? Does it? We don't have to just divide it to principal only payments. We can amortize it over a 2-year period. If it's a 3-year. If it's a 2-year lease purchase, we could spread the whole thing over 2 years with 6% interest. And you're right, that 12.5 might become 15,000.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, huh?
It's nothing wrong with that, and that's passive income. Let's define what is passive income.
Yeah, what is passive income? To me, passive income is not necessarily passive, like I don't have to do anything to have or maintain this income, but it's like I'm not working.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It's like an annuity. It's like Social Security, a check that comes in or something like that. It's a check that comes in every month that you created. We're in a creative business. We have to see things that other people don't see. Everybody says, well, the one thing I hear from people so often, I got to get the property under market. No, you don't. If you have a good home in a good neighborhood and you give the owner full price, and as long as you can negotiate maybe better terms, a lease purchase, a subject to or sales agreement, let's just take a simple, a lease purchase agreement. And for 3 years, you rent that property, but you give the owner a full price and you negotiate a good rent, a reasonable rent. Can you still sell that piece of paper? Not a sandwich lease, but can you just sell that contract to somebody, a family that wants to get into a home today that they can buy in the next 1, 2, 3 years or whatever?
You know, I was telling my group the other day that we've got to kind of maybe consider embracing the mindset, the paradigm on lease purchase, on lease options. If you're assigning them, if your plan is to wholesale these, then you're almost becoming a down payment flipper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to collect. Can I get someone to give me 10 grand to move in? You know, that's nice. You know,
it doesn't have to be under market. It doesn't have to be, we talk a lot about, all the gurus talk about always the under market. I got to get a property 50 cents on the dollar.
Right.
Well, maybe today that's not as easy as it was in 2008 or maybe in 2022. Things might change by the third or fourth quarter. But the thing is, what's the value of just the house and a contract to live in that house, enjoy that house, a sublet or rent that house, or just buy it in the future? What's the value of negotiating something like that?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
The value is, does the house itself contain value for someone else to enjoy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I just said it in more country boy terms, like, can I get some knucklehead to give me 10 grand to move into this place and live? Right. I mean, I know it might be a little overpriced even, but that's exactly okay. If he's okay with it, I'm okay with it. Right.
Yeah. Gina, my favorite comment here, Gina, Le Q. I love that. I think I pronounced it right. It's a French name, I believe. Working smarter, not harder. Gina, going to the bank, making money. If you sold a contract and you're getting $200 a month for the next 5 years, what's wrong with that? Nothing. If you sold a contract and you're getting all cash and a note, there's nothing wrong with that. If you talk to somebody who has a problem in real estate and consult in real estate and made yourself $2,500. I was talking with Mr. Kennedy about that the other day. Nice. There's so many ways to make money in this. You could go the educational side, create products and services. There's so many ways, and you can do deals, and some deals are keepers and some are what they call flippers. Where you turn them over quickly just to get the cash flow, let somebody else fix them up, let somebody else manage and rent them.
How do you... Okay, Gina said that you pronounced her last name correctly. How did you say it?
Le Q.
Le Q.
Parlez-vous français?
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I can ask for a beer and find a bathroom in 5 different languages.
That's
what
great.
What else do you need?
Why did you learn this skill?
Because we used to travel a lot. A little something personal. Claudia and I, we love to travel. And when the kids, and Claudia has a teaching degree and a nursing degree and a master's from Columbia. We're so overeducated. And she said, I can teach the kids and we can travel. We don't have to wait for them to have vacations and things like that. Think how valuable that is today in pandemic times. My God, the kids go to school, they get sick. Guess what happens? Mom and dad get sick.
Right. Yeah.
And all that. But we used to travel a lot. We'd go to Europe. We'd go to Holland. We'd go to Belgium, Germany. We went all over the place. I love to travel. Are people traveling again, or is it still a pain? I mean, real travel.
Like, I don't know.
What's the last trip you took? Real trip?
Last summer, I went to Gulf Shores.
Where's Gulf Shores? Where's that?
Alabama, the Gulf.
Okay.
Yeah. And
you went for the Chitlin convention or something, didn't you?
No, it's incredible. They actually have people that surf down there a little and even everything. Yeah, so it's like a real beach.
Yes. Do you know what a chitlin is? Who knows what a chitlin is?
I think I know, but I don't want to say.
It's an intestine, and it proves that anything that is breaded and fried in butter is edible.
Mm.
Ooh. Hey, should we let some people on who have who has a question in the group there? Give me a wave or a hand or something. Anybody have a question they'd like to come in on there? Come on there. We'll take you one at a time. Come on, no deer in the headlights here. Give me a wave. Who wants to come on? Steve Zobro. You always, Steve, I'm going to put you in, even though you didn't give me a wave. How you doing, Steve?
Doing great. Fantastic. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I know I'm having problems with my audio. Good.
You sound good. I love the piano in the background. I didn't know you play.
I did a special just for you.
Okay. Some of these, what do we call those things? Green screens or whatever, background screens?
Well, yeah. But I like what you guys said about the actual seller financing, because those are fantastic. I've been doing those for probably 15, 20 years, selling properties, creating notes, passive income. There's nothing better than going to the mailbox and picking up checks. As long as you teach the mail person to put your checks on top and your bills on the bottom, you're good to go. But I love it. I'm selling financing. You like that, Justin, huh?
That's great. Say it again, dude.
So to me, it's like, when you get those seller financing notes, like what you said, Claude, $25,000 sale, 12,000 down, maybe charge 5-6% interest. You
can do that. You can. One of the things I do is I as a persuasion technique, I'll go to somebody. Tell you what, we're going to finance this, Mr. Role Play here. It is Role Play Wednesday. We got to do one. Steve, I'm going to finance that $25,000 for you at 0 interest. You only have to do one thing. You don't want to pay 9-10% interest, do you, Steve? Nobody does.
No. So are you going to be paying me the $25,000 monthly, or am I?
No. You and I. We're creating a note. I'm selling you something. I'm wholesaling you a contract for $25,000.
Right.
Okay. We've done business before, and you want payments.
Right.
Okay. On it. So, Steve, I'm back in the role play. Steve, tell you what I'm going to do. You don't want to pay interest, right? Say yes.
Yes. No, I don't.
Thank you. What a role play. I'm telling him what to say.
Right. Help me out. Right.
All you have to do is, can you pay on the 1st of every month? Automatic bank transfer, have a credit card on file, or send us a PayPal or Venmo. If you can pay us on the 1st of every month, I will waive the 10% interest on that $25,000 5-year note that you and I are.
Well, let's suppose we went through a title company and we had an account servicing company who could basically take care of that for us. So I would just pay them every month.
Love it.
And there's a small little fee with the title company. That way they handle it. We got a third party and we're both out of it.
I'll absorb the fee, Steve. If we can do, Steve, I'll tell you what, it's a small fee. I think it's $20 a month. I'll absorb that. If you can set that up, if you can pay on the 1st, if you can do that all for me today, I will absorb the $20 fee, a monthly fee that the company is paying for. Can you do that for me today, Steve?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
If you can do it today, I'll waive the 10% interest and I'll absorb the management fee from the company that you set up to pay us.
And you definitely can do that today. You would actually get something in writing from me today, not tomorrow, today.
Yeah, I want it done today, please. That's small favor. I'm taking a trip. I'm very busy. I've got 5 other closings. I'm going to help my wife with the laundry. I need it done today.
Okay, that's fine. Sure. Do you want to send me something, or how do you want to do this? I'm ready.
I'll send you a letter of intent or a contract. I'll send you a full contract from you're in Arizona.
Arizona. Yes, Arizona. Gilbert, Arizona.
I'll send you a contract from the wonderful, great state of Arizona. That is, by the way, Arizona is, we need the Arizona report. Your state is exploding right now.
Yeah.
There is no inventory in Phoenix.
30, 40, 50%. I mean, properties just, quite a bit.
What is going on in Arizona? Well, Arizona was the place you could get, how many years you been there, Steve?
Since 1980. So almost 42.
What did a nice house go for in 1980s?
Well, my first house we bought was $85,000 back in '86. It's probably worth about $400 right now. But the thing is, we're getting a lot of people from California.
Californication. Warning. Californication.
Yeah, too many people from California coming because they're bringing some of their liberal ideas from California. Not to get political, but so we're getting a lot of people.
No, that ain't too political.
Yeah, I know. So, but we're getting a lot of people from California, and just because of the weather and just coming here. So yeah, it's going crazy.
But you could, back in the 80s, 90s, you could get a nice house with a pool and a little land for what, 100,000?
$80,000, 85, 86.
Wow.
My first house, $85,000.
What's a good neighborhood, good school district, 3-bedroom,
Sure.
2.5 bath, fairly modern home go for today in good old
Depends on where, probably 600, 700, maybe 700,000. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the place in the summer, it can be 115, right?
Yeah, you want to go to California and go to Carlsbad and hit the beach at that time. Yeah.
Okay.
So, right. Yeah.
And I live in San Diego. Listen, I love California. I know politically, California, I have I have like a whole nother life in San Diego. I'm in Colorado right now. In 3 weeks, we're going back to North Carolina. But I love California. The only thing is when I go see my friends and stuff, I'll talk about anything except politics. We'll talk, talk about something controversial like sushi or favorite restaurant or something.
Right.
But
you want to keep your friends, right?
Wow. If you start talking about Berkeley or San Francisco or LA or something like that, it's dangerous.
Right. I want to get back to what you said about the seller finance, because on those seller financing notes, you can also sell those. I've done a lot of those where you basically create the note.
Wait a second. You mean that $25,000 note I can sell?
Yeah, let's just say now the key is how you create the note. If you create it for 4 or 5 years, if you create it for 30 years, your discount's going to be more. But yeah, so let's just say people need money.
Yeah,
they carry a note, but you really need like 15, 20,000. But the guy doesn't have it, but he's willing to give you 5,000 down. You can carry that. You can sell that note to people that want to buy it.
Sure. You can use that note for your next real estate purchase.
Totally.
You can bundle your notes and sell them to an investment, a private investor or something. And so, for instance, let's say I created four $25,000 notes, and they were slightly seasoned, anywhere from 3 to 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
A little seasoning. That means that somebody's been paying on already.
Yeah.
And they proved it. And we have 4 $25,000 notes that we've done from wholesale assignments or something like that. Okay, how about a role play, Steve? Sell them to Justin here. Sell him. You're going to basically discount the notes. It's got a street value of, let's say, 100,000 plus. With 2 of them are getting interest, 2 are at actual face value. Okay, you're selling $100,000 note to Justin. And you want cash today? So you're going to have to have to do something we call discounting, right?
Right. Right.
So it's like I work for J.G. Wentworth,
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Steve.
so Justin, do you buy real estate notes?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So what are you looking for in your real estate notes? I've got 4 of them, but I want to find out, do you buy land? Do you buy homes? And what do you buy? What do you purchase on the notes?
Yeah, single family homes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And
cool.
you usually at a discount. What you got?
Well, I've got 4 notes, $25,000. 2 got interest. 1 doesn't have interest. They're on land though. Now the good news is people bought them for about 35, 40,000. They put about 30% into it, and they've been seasoning for about 7 months. So 7 months of seasoning, 30% down. But I need some cash. I want to get these sold.
So what's the total package number here on all 4?
Look about $100,000. So 4 of them at 25, right? 4 at 25.
Okay.
So now, but do you buy land? Because if you don't go buy land, I'm going to find someone else that does. I got 4 or 5 other people I can contact right now. So if you want to buy it right now, I'll go through you. If not, I got my other person I can go through.
Well, how long has that one been seasoned, the land?
Well, they're all 4 of them been seasoned for about 6 months. They're all land, all about 6 months. 2 of them got about 7% interest, 1 at about maybe 1 or 2%. So 2 at about 1 or 2, 1 at about 7.
Okay, so
I'd like to sell them all to someone who has the cash.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a decision today.
What's the cash amount? What are you looking to collect today then?
Well, that's a good question. Thanks for asking that. Why is that important to you? Thank you for asking that. Why is that important to you?
Mm-hmm. Just close them.
Yeah.
Just get to the deal.
Go ahead. Okay. So, So are you willing to pay? Are you willing to buy all 4 of them?
Yes.
Okay. So are you willing to pay me? Can you give me a number for those four? Tell me a number. What would you pay for them?
55.
Total for everything?
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
55 today.
That's the best you can do?
It's the best I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, tell you. Okay.
You need
We're
the
looking
money.
possibly right around 70, 75. So is it over? Should I go to my next person, or I thank you for that number though. I really appreciate that.
Steve,
Well-
you need pretend you need the money today for another deal that'll make you $250,000. Let's just
Right.
change the motivation here.
Okay. Yeah. So really, okay, what I'm looking for is to get some money today, because I got this other property that I'm looking for that could really potentially make me about $300,000.
Well, that's great. But I still think, 55 feels good to me. I'll tell you what I could do. I understand where you're coming from, and you want to do this today. I'll do this today. I'll bump it up to 60, and we can call it a deal at that.
Are you able to go 70? Because if you go 70, we got a deal. You go 70.
I can't do 70. Nah, I can't do 70, man. I mean,
Why not?
Well, it's just too skinny.
Okay. So
Steve, you got another deal that'll make you $250,000, and you really need 50,000 plus to.
Well, I really need 60, but that's okay. But that's all right. So, okay. All right. I'll tell you what. Suppose I was to say yes to your $60,000. What would happen next?
We got a deal. Send the paperwork.
Okay. Send it over to me. Let me look at it. You need my email address?
Yep. That's it.
Okay.
What do you mean? Well, change the role play. What do you mean look at it, Steve? Are we going to do business today or what?
Well, look at it. I want to look at the numbers. I want to make sure that I see 60,000 on there for those four notes. I want to make sure
it's all today. It'll say 60,000, and we'll meet on Zoom or FaceTime at 4:30. And if you say yes and you're comfortable with everything, if you can do it earlier, okay, it's only 11:30 here in Colorado. If you can get back to me in the next hour, I can pick up the phone, call my banker or my lawyer, and get this thing going. You need the money, don't you?
Yes, if the numbers check out, we'll be willing to go. As long as everything checks out.
Numbers are the numbers. I'm a man of my word here. So sooner you get back to me, the sooner you get paid.
Let's do it. Send me the stuff.
Hey, Steve, sorry I went so hard on you, man. I went pretty hard.
You know what? That's how you learn, though. That's good. That's good. I love it.
So, Steve, you got your 60,000. Yeah. Justin got a $40,000 plus. It's got interest accumulating.
Yeah.
So let's say he's going to make about 70,000 on this portfolio of 4 deals. Okay. And Steve, you got the money that you needed for the other deal that'll make you $250,000.
And the good news, I have a deal. The good news, I have a deal like that right now. I'm actually buying a treasury deed that I'm foreclosing on. It's a deed. So there's about 40,000 back taxes that's owed, but I'm going to foreclose on it. It should get it in about 3 or 4 months, and I should make about right around 250, 300,000 on this. So
how do you sleep? How do you sleep at night?
Some guy named Claude's teaching me all these certain type of techniques. So
Thank you.
That's great.
Flattery will get you everywhere with my weak and secure little cream puff yogurt ego. Thank you. What a good role play. Good
Excellent.
Stuff. So I think the big takeaway from today is Gina wants to know what's a treasury deed. Can you explain that for us to her there?
That's a great question. Thank you. Basically, in Arizona, when you're behind on your taxes, someone buys them. You can go to the auction and buy treasury deeds, property taxes. Okay. So what happens is people buy these, and then if they don't pay, I get with the people that bought them and try to they'll assign it over to me. So these are property taxes that people haven't paid on. In Arizona, you can foreclose within 5 years. So after 5 years, you can foreclose. Wow. And it's so, but you have to do due diligence to find out a lot about them. But once you do, I mean, the potential is huge. So it's basically, Gina, it's about treasury deeds. Buying those at the auction. You can go to what state do you live in, Gina? Where do you live at? What state?
That's a good question.
You hear me? Okay, that's okay. So you go to your treasurer office in your state and just type in, especially February is the time they're doing a lot of it right now. You can type in treasury deeds, state, auction, how to do it, get on your bidders list with the state, and you start bidding.
Georgia.
Looks like Georgia.
Yep.
Georgia, Texas, Florida, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, whatever, man. That's a gold mine out there for people to listen to this and talk about. There's not much competition. So all of us were sending all these letters out and lease options. I mean, I've done lease options. I did a lease option on a gold mine back in 2011. I mean, that I was dealing with back then.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of that stuff. It's a lot of work. These are kind of nice.
Yeah.
So,
do your due diligence is the big takeaway. Even
Huge.
in that role play we were
Huge.
talking about before,
yes,
I threw in the word, these are seasoned notes.
totally.
So all the people were paying and on time. So when you buy a note from somebody else, from a wholesale deal or
Right.
whatever you just did,
Right.
make sure you want, if you pay on that note based on the quality of the payor. Okay,
Right.
is that person who's paying on that note, have they been paying scrupulously on time and consistently? And the longer they've been paying on that, it's called seasoning.
Yeah.
The better the quality of the note. You know what you're buying there.
Right.
So that's real important. If you get brand new notes and you don't know much about the people and they haven't proven their veracity, their ability to pay consistently and on time, you should substantially discount that note.
And key thing you said, Claude, diligence. If you read the Bible, and I do, and read Proverbs, King Solomon, the wisest man around, but also the richest, he talks about diligence. Look into a matter deeply. Don't just take it at surface, deeply. And you're going to find yourself making a lot more money if you do that. So diligence is huge.
You know what's my favorite? You know what's my favorite license plate in the whole country? Missouri. Show me.
Yeah.
The show me state. Okay, I get into trouble when people tell, well, we just did this deal and we made all this money. Show me. How did you do it? What did you say to the people? How did you close them? How did you find them? How did you negotiate? Why did you negotiate this deal as a wholesale deal rather than a lease purchase sandwich lease? Why? Ask those tough questions of people. And if another $10 word, if they obfuscate, if they don't answer directly, or the drawbridge goes up, or they give you that lousy, oh, well, I got to protect the privacy nonsense, stuff like that, you have someone who's not telling you the whole truth. You got to learn, that's why I love videos so much. We were talking about that, I think, on one of my broadcasts. We were talking about getting on video with people on Zoom or something. This is like a lie detector, isn't it? When somebody is looking down or not paying attention, or awkward body movements when you ask very simple, straightforward questions, that might be a clue that they're thinking of a little BS, maybe. That's it. Steve, there's a question here from Pablo Lomi. What's the hottest area for multifamily in Arizona? Scottsdale is pretty cool.
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, I would say Tempe, Chandler, Mesa, inside of Phoenix area. But they're going high. I mean, you can't find them, really, to be honest with you, because people can't find homes right now, or because it's just, and then especially with interest rates going up, people are going to have a hard time finding properties to basically qualify for the mortgages. So, I mean, Tempe, Chandler, Mesa, Scottsdale, all great places. If you can find like a little duplex, fourplex, triplex, fix it up and then sell it, or fix it up and hang on to it, you can do well. But
let me ask you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you just got to do a lot of work. There's a lot of diligence that you've got to do, but once you find it, you can do well. So I would say, to answer your question, Tempe, Mesa, Chandler, Scottsdale are all great. Yeah.
I'm going to ask a dangerous question here. You don't have to answer it. Oh God, there's a prelude to a question.
That's me or Justin.
Arizona was so. It's such an attractive state. It's what do you call it? A snowbird state, right?
Right.
It's in the Southwest. It's beautiful. It's easy to reach so many other states, the Grand Canyon, California, Mexico, whatever you want. And you got the population demographics changed, would you say, drastically over the last 10 years? You got young people moving into that state. Yeah. And politically, Arizona's Barry Goldwater land. It was. Why? Has that state has changed politically because of those demographics? I'm just curious.
Yes. Yeah. And I would think so. Yes. Like I said, a lot of people from California are coming over, and God bless them. That's okay if they want to. Just keep whatever you think about in California, keep it there. But if you come here, that's great. But a lot of good things are happening, and a lot of people are coming. So we're open and whatever,
Okay.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Okay. Didn't he give the safest answer you've ever heard in your life?
Yeah, I'm just trying to please. It's kind of like when I talk to someone on the phone, they say, "Hey, Steve, we're not interested." I said, "You know what? No problem. with all due respect, Tom, you're not allowed to think about it, but let's just say it's over. And I'll say to someone, hey man, when you can fire me, and you can be like Donald Trump, man. You go be like Donald, just say, Steve, you're fired. Or if I say, if you want to be like Joe Biden, hey Steve, just go ahead and take a nap, kind of like Sleepy Joe. So I try to keep people a little bit of humor, but not get too. And I think the biggest thing what I've learned is to grab my tongue, to be pleasant, pleasing, and persuasive. The 3 P's: pleasant, pleasing, and persuasive, and just go from there.
How do you how do you become successful in this business? I see one of the biggest problems for people in this wonderful business or any sales business is they have to be consistent.
Totally.
They do too much stop and go. Why do they do that? Because a lot of the sales, of the communication, the dialogues, conversations are so uncomfortable. They're so adversarial to them that they procrastinate. They don't want me. I want to talk. We have the gut system that we always talk about here. The thing about it is, if we learn to ask questions and use maybe those pattern interrupts, or learn to get into a practice achieving friendly dialogues with people, we can make more phone calls and we can have more. I have fun in sales. Even when I don't make a sale, I have a lot of fun. How about you, Justin?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Here's a technique too, Claude, for the listeners. You talk about imagination, the guts 2.0. Okay, imagine it. What I suggest for people to do is when you take about 15, 20 minutes a day, imagine, go into your back room and imagine some of the role playing on yourself. What we're doing is great here, but when you get yourself to imagine yourself doing the role play, doing the agenda, the qualification, the commitments, doing everything you teach. So when you're on the phone with someone, you're not kind of like stressing out, because you've already imagined it in your mind. So it flows. I really believe we all want to get into a flow. I want to get into it. When I'm on the phone, I want to be flowing. I want to be listening, but flowing. Now, if I flow too much, I go to the bathroom, which is no problem. But I try to always be flowing. Okay. But imagine what it'd be like just to do that. So close your eyes, imagine the techniques. So when you're on the phone, it's like, boom, I'm ready to go. I got this.
Yeah. Let's go to our group here. I see Dave is here, Helen and Joseph, Jessica. Steve, thank you so much. You're a wealth of information, man.
God, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Totally.
Like, anybody else want to come on or ask a question from the live group, from the mentees down here? Jessica, let's put Jessica on. Steve, you want to hang out in the group here, or you want to go back to sleep?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, hang out, man. We have room. Hi, Jessica. I'm going to ask the dangerous question. Where are you today? It's like, where's Waldo with you? You're always in a different place.
I'm in Huntsville today. Yes.
Huntsville, Alabama. Well, bless you.
Alabama. Sweet Home, Alabama today. Yes, I am.
Good. Oh, I love. Who did that song? Sweet Home, Alabama.
Yeah.
Who did that song?
Leonard Skinner. Leonard Skinner.
Thank you.
I thought he was joking.
That's a great song.
It's a great song. Sweet Home, Alabama. No, I'm sorry.
Right.
Just all of a sudden our viewership just went down about 18 people.
Everyone muted you, Claude.
I know.
And I know notes can be great, and then sometimes when they fail, it can be not very much fun. So if you have, I guess, is it to do your homework in advance so that you make sure you get a reliable borrower and you don't have to go into chasing people for money or foreclosing on that property? That takes it into kind of a whole different realm, doesn't it? How would you suggest to make sure you get those notes are just going to pay on time like clockwork and never have issues with it?
Good question.
Is that a question for me, Jessica? You want me to answer that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to be in the no buying business for about 15 years. So I would actually buy a list of seller financing notes from people that actually sold property, and they were the actual receiving those payments. So I would send them out letters, postcards, but that cost a lot of money. And I was doing stuff all over the United States. And I worked with one of the number one companies in America, in the United States, who buys these notes. But I think the key is the biggest thing with notes is how much money is put down, how much skin do they have in the game?
Mm-hmm.
If they have no money in the game, it's like, do I really want to buy that note? But if they got 30, 40, 50% in the game with the note, with the property, I'm going to probably look at buying it. and I just find out how can I help them today? How can I get them money today? And a lot of times people are motivated, but so I buy a list. I used to always buy a list. I don't do that anymore because it costs a lot
Where
of
do you
money.
buy those lists from? Where would you get those lists?
I bought them you would go online. You can go online to a seller financing list. I don't know if people are still doing it right now. Just Google it, seller financing list, and then you can get this list. And then I would send out little postcards and.
Okay. And do you like junior liens? Do you like the seconds? If as long as they have a good history?
That's a great question, but who wants to be in second, right? If that first person doesn't pay, your butt's wiped out.
Right. But do they not pay a higher interest? Does any of you gentlemen here on the screen do junior liens?
Senior liens, I mean.
Second mortgages, third mortgages, stuff like
I
that.
thought they were called juniors if they're in second place.
Yeah, because they're a second note holder. Yes.
Yeah. Claude,
yeah.
do you do?
I would stick, Jessica. I would stick to the first lien holders. Stick to the people. Number one. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Just my experience. Stay away from the seconds.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
qual. Basically I like to generate my own notes. I keep the really good ones for ourselves. People who have good credit. I've done business with them before. They're you can just tell they're low maintenance people. They pay their bills on time. I keep those notes for the obvious reason I get paid the full amount or full amount with the interest. When maybe this is too much information. Justin gave me 2 martinis and a shot of sodium pentothal before we came on here. If I have a sense that the payor on the note is going to have those little clues about financial difficulties, or they start sending me little notes and we have to get out the boohoo tissues. Oh, Claude, my Chihuahua needs an operation. I can't pay you on the note. That's
Right.
what do you think we should do with that note, Jessica?
Do you sell it? But who will buy that note? Who would buy that?
You know what? Hi, Jessica. Well, let's do a role play. It is Role Play Wednesday.
Okay.
Hello, Jessica.
Okay.
My favorite
Hello, Claude.
investor.
Hey, how are you?
I am wonderful, and you're in Alabama. Jessica, I've got a $25,000 note that I got it from Steve Zobro and Steve, and I need to raise some cash. I need to sell this note. Half the payments were on time. Some of the payments were 10, 15 days late. I had some challenges in his life, but the note is based on an assignment, a wholesale assignment on a deal we did. I need to raise some cash on another deal I'm doing with Justin. Would you be interested in this note if I discounted it today and you made a substantial, large, wonderful profit?
You'd have to really talk me into it.
I'd say it's got a 25,000 face value. I'll give you 50 cents on the dollar. You'll double your money, make 100% on it. I'll sell it to you for $12,500 right now. It's got a face value of $25,000, and I have a signed contract with it.
I have another sucker for you.
Okay, let's finish the role play.
Okay.
You can,
Okay.
negotiate.
Well, how about 10,000?
Boy, you're really beating me up today. Wow. Is my wife going to kill me?
There's that risk. I got to make sure I want to take on that risk, you see.
Let me ask you something, just hypothetically. If I was crazy enough to sell this for 10,000, you wouldn't be able to pay that right now on a American Express or PayPal or something.
Yep, got my gold card ready for you right here, right now.
You got a deal, young lady.
Okay, got it.
Boom.
Got it. So
I just got 10,000 today. I gave up 15,000. Okay. How much did I have any cash in this deal, by the way? Ron LeGrand always had one expression I always loved. Says you can't get hurt if you ain't got any money in the deal. If this was a deal I created, I sold the contract for 25,000. I'm holding a note now. And I really just created it out of negotiation and good hunting and putting the deal. And I got a few payments, but I'm a little worried about the payor on this note. I sense there might be troubles, but I did disclose that to Jessica, always up front, and she just gave me 10,000 today, and my problems are over. I'm not a bill collector anymore. Is that a good way to do business?
Yes.
You
Yes.
better believe it.
And I got a sweet deal too for
Yeah.
maybe taking on a bit of a headache.
So you brought up a really good point. You got to note the note's only as good as the person paying it and the security you have. If you start to hear troubles or the payments are coming late or they're calling you up with the boohoo stuff, sell the note.
Okay.
Even if you get 50 cents on the dollar, you got the note for free. You created it through sweat equity anyway. Isn't 10,000 today better than maybe chasing this person for or not getting anything in the future?
Okay, I understand. So just get out of them. If it starts to be a problem, just get out of them.
This is the way I do my notes. I keep the Cadillacs, the gold notes. I bundle and sell the weaker notes.
Okay.
And that way, I mean, I'd rather get 10,000 today than 0% of the 25,000 tomorrow.
Or even if you get more, but it's so much work, right? Sometimes it's not worth the work, the effort.
It's like, did you ever get emotionally involved in it? Here's a new, I'm going to open up another door here. Did you ever get emotionally involved in a deal and you're just ranting and raving to your spouse, your significant other, you're losing sleep? Justin, you ever have that, buddy?
Yeah, we've all had those. We've all had those at one point.
I have experienced that. Yes.
What's that? Is that stress? Is any stress in a deal worth losing a night of sleep?
No way.
No.
Isn't it better to sell the note to somebody else, discount the note, I totally disclose to people that this is not an A+ note. This is maybe a C+ note or a B- note.
Yeah. And
I'll give them the contract and all the information and I'll discount it. People, and so their yield goes up tremendously.
Yeah.
And I'm out, and I've got some cash, and I can move on to the next deal. Because there's always a next deal.
Yes, always.
And where would you find your buyers for those notes? How would you find those?
That's a good question. Well, we have a private group that we meet on. Our group, I have well over 200 active clients right now. I think you post in our private Skype group, my mentee group. You want to sell something? I'm sure somebody will pick it up there. Or how about a local real estate club? You're in Alabama, you said?
Well, I'm back and forth.
Okay. You're in Alabama and California. There's some great real estate clubs there. Okay. You go to a real estate club. What's everybody in a real estate club really there for?
To make money.
Make money. And usually these clubs, they let you go up front and talk. And say, hey, everybody, got a $25,000 note, but I'm working on another deal and I need to sell this note today for 50 cents on the dollar. It means you get 100% return on your investment for $12,500 on a $25,000 note. I'm in the back of the room. I've got all the paperwork here with me today. If you got the cash, you can double your money. My name's Claude. See you in the back of the room. Boom.
And here's an idea also, Jessica, for you. If you go to your recorder's office, type in assignment of beneficial interest and find out what's been recording in that county. And these are the people where they're assigning their beneficial interest to somebody. You can get a list of actually investors that actually have these assigned to them. It's another way of doing it.
Okay.
Called assignment of beneficial interest. That's in Arizona. It's a trustee, so they assign the interest. I don't know in Georgia. There's probably if it's land contracts, if it's deeds of trust. That's another way of getting names from people at the recorder's office. I do a lot of stuff that way.
Sure.
How about the key is be diligent, though. You got to be diligent with all that.
Yeah. Okay. So
one of my favorite places to go whenever I travel, I go to meetup.com. I type in real estate, all those real estate clubs, all those investors. There's a little chat usually at meetup.com. You can join these clubs. You can ask questions. You can put in your notes. A lot of them are meeting like Sunday. I was on Bill Tan's Los Angeles Real Estate Investors Association. Okay. And you can just find all these groups. Some of them are real small. When I go back to Pinehurst, North Carolina, there's a little group that meets at what's that place that sells the wings? It's a wings franchise, just Buffalo Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah, that's it. Wild Wings. Yes, yeah. They meet there every 2 weeks, this little real estate group, and they have beer and wings, and they do deals and exchange ideas, and they have a speaker for 15, 20 minutes. Real fun groups, don't cost any money to speak of, and you can find all the investors you want.
Okay.
What's the first question you want to ask an investor if you were a gut salesperson? What would it be?
You want to make some money.
You want to make some money. You make it emotional. And then, do you have the liquidity? That's the words I use. Excuse me, Steve. Do you have the liquidity for a great deal today? I know you like to buy notes. Would you like to buy something that'll double your money and it's secured? Are you in a liquid position today to do business?
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. Is that yes? I mean, I'm sorry.
Let's maybe talk about it.
But the simple question for it, I'll be glad to answer all your questions.
Okay.
If you can just answer this one. If you found a deal today, a $25,000 note that you could buy for $12,500, would you have that money available today?
Yes. Yes, I would.
What? I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, what? Yes, I would.
I do that on purpose. He knows that.
I know that.
Okay, now
that's what you did the first time when we talked. The first time we met, you said, "And what?
Don't tell me
How much, Steve? Okay, great. Are you ready to do this?" So you do practice what you preach.
Here's the thing. I do. Only because I had one of my clients call me last week, and he said, "Claude, I was 90 minutes on the phone with somebody. Okay, and nothing happened." And that's not millionaire thinking. When you're giving a lot of information, you want to get along, you know, you want to be nice, you want to be polite and everything. His doctor hat is on.
That's what I use, man. So when I put my doctor's hat on, I'm ready to ask those questions and listen to them. So I'm ready to go. So I just listen to them like with my doctor hat on. So in about 4, 5, 6 minutes, I'm gone. You know, if they're not ready.
There's a reason I hold this up every now and then.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have given $1 million presentations to people. Got in my car, driven in traffic, met people, they were late and everything, answered their questions on the phone for an hour and a half. And they said, "Claude, this is wonderful. Oh, I've been waiting for." If I had the money, we'd be doing business today, Claude. I'll have to get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that. You don't get that 2, 3, 5, 10 hours back from that person. Do you? And my mentor used to always say, there's no bad prospects. There's only bad salespeople who don't have the guts, where the title came from. They don't have the guts to ask the right questions, like Steve was indicating as a doctor or a lawyer. You have rights in the sales process, don't we? Yeah. Can't we ask? Aren't we allowed to ask questions up front?
Those first 4 or 5 seconds is the key. You got to get their attention. You got to ask. You can't be, "How you doing?" Hey, you got to figure out who they are. Ask that question quickly to have them get the attention, so you can start talking with them. That 4 or 5 seconds. Otherwise, you could lose them. They're gone.
Yeah. All you're doing is free consulting.
Right.
You're wasting time.
Right.
And and all that. So by the way, my partner, my buddy over here, my licensee Justin, you're at shutupmoney.com. You're going to tell us how you got that title, by the way.
I stole it, but it was a good idea. Like I only steal good ideas usually.
Okay.
And that was a good idea, but it meant something to me because I feel like I've experienced the need for shut up money. I didn't come from a background of money or anything really. I've just always been an entrepreneurial kind of guy. And so, I feel like I reached a certain point where I got that first deal that proved to me and proved, well, mostly to me really, that I could do this and that I could tell all these people in my life that have been looking for me, hey, this works. I've got, hey, shut up talking about how it doesn't work, because it does, and I needed that. I needed that breakthrough. And so I don't know if other people feel that way too, but I could relate if you did,
I think it's good to be broke or financially challenged once in your life, because once you learn the secrets of success, what other people do, you got this wonderful thing in your world called gratefulness.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to be grateful because you never take anything for granted anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
very
think
grateful.
I think there's a reason we're challenged financially, or sometimes we have more month than money, or we have these challenges in life, because when we overcome them, it's so wonderful to go to bed and know the cable bill is paid. That it's just a good feeling. And I would hate to be what do they call it, a trust fund baby. My parents were immigrants. They worked very hard. Had a little grocery store in New York City. The whole family had to work in that store. I didn't get to play baseball or join the Boy Scouts or anything like after school. We had to go help mom and dad in the store.
Yeah.
Everything like that. So, you know, we weren't rich, we weren't poor. We had food on the table, you know, and the thing is, when you grow up and you see these role models, these examples in your life, and you learn to respect money, my gosh, and then you finally maybe achieve some security in your life on the things we talk about here.
Yes.
It's a wonderful feeling to be grateful. I'll get off my soapbox. I'm sorry.
I had one more question about notes before we end.
We're really out of time here.
Okay, darn.
We're really out of time. Is it a quick question? Short.
It's a quick question. So the income you make from a note, is that ordinary income and tax so, and then when you sell the note, is it a capital gain?
I'm not an accountant.
I'm not an accountant, but I've dealt with it. First question is, your interest is
Holiday Inn last night.
yeah, your interest, Jessica, would be taxable. Again, I'm not an accountant, but from my experience, your interest would be taxable. Your capital gains would be what you actually paid for it compared to what you sell it for. If there's a spread. Again, I'm not a CPA, but that's from my experience. Hopefully that answers your question a little bit, maybe.
Okay. That's excellent. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it depends on your situation, on your your tax situation, on the laws. There's federal laws, there's state laws where you live.
The cash flow is taxable as you collect it.
Yeah, ordinary income, right? Yeah.
Right. I think you're right. I think you're right, David. Justin, I'll give you the next to last word here before we go.
I don't have anything extra to add, guys. I think this has been an awesome session, and I've really enjoyed the value that you guys brought here. Steve and Jessica and Dave and Helen and Joseph.
Good stuff, Steve.
A few others that were here too, and then those watching. I mean, gosh, I kind of had a great time, really. So, thanks for being here this week.
Yeah. You guys are a wealth of information, and I think we had a little fun here. I think the greatest sin on some of these broadcasts is some of the people are a cure for insomnia. I think we move so fast. We have a lot of fun here, and I see a lot of smiles on the audience. And Ben, hello! I see Ben is in the audience, and everybody else. And we had a lot of people join us today on a lot of different things, a lot of different social media. So thank you all for coming. Claude and Justin here talking about real estate sales, marketing. Everybody be healthy, be safe, be happy. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Wednesday.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.